Hello and welcome everybody. So I think everything's working. Yep, I've got the audio on, we got the video on, we got everything ready here. So as long as no one has questions to start, sorry, we can probably get going into this. Tonight we will be using this little direct die frame here to direct die mount my 7700K. So there's kind of a bit of risk involved with this. If you don't have one of these nice frames, you definitely can't do it. So you do need one of these. You can find it in the description below if you do want to pick one up. But even without that, there's the potential to crush your die. So we're going to have to be very careful here tonight. And there's a couple things that we got to go over on how you actually prepare for this, because there is kind of a minor hiccup with using one of these guys. So, or just direct die cooling on 1151 in general. Thanks to a YouTuber, I kind of found that before we got into this. So I'll be showing you guys what you got to do tonight. And like I said, if you got questions, feel free to let me know. We're going to have a trivia question in somewhere in the middle of this video. So if you do happen to answer that trivia question correctly, you'll be able to win some Thermal Grizzly Conductonaut for yourself. A nice little tube like this. So if you're going to be delating or direct die cooling, that's some handy stuff to have around. So I have actually already taken a bunch of benchmarks, and I've tested my chip and everything how it was before. Before it was delidded, I had the copper IHS from Rockcool on there. As you can see, I just took it off. There's still a bunch of crap on it. So that's just going on the bench now. Kind of sad, but oh well. This seems cool anyways. So I have those temps before, and I'll be taking those after. Obviously, like if you can see over there in the little lower picture there, my build's kind of in pieces right now. So it'll be a couple days before you guys find out if I actually did mess this up or not, but I will definitely keep you posted. So what do we got over here? Hoping for a fire or at least some blood, says Hank. really now. There's like, blood is a potential outcome tonight, I guess. We'll be using the X-Acto knife. So let me get the chats up here. Where did they go? This chat right here. Okay. So we got the chats up. And let me switch the cameras. I think you guys would prefer that one. I'm going to be switching this one so we can see down a little better. If it does want to work at all. Sorry for a second here. We'll adjust. And that looks pretty good. There you go. Okay. So, cameras are okay as long as I don't kick them. Like I said, just keep chatting. I'll do my best to get to it as soon as possible. If you do have questions. You look tired there, Matt, says Star Killer. Well, I don't know. It has been a long day. I haven't really stopped, so there's that. But to get to this, what do we get? Did you break it? No, I haven't, Mr. Spicy Chicken. I have not broken it yet. Possibly, but not quite yet. So I was, before I actually started the stream here, I was actually kind of testing this all out myself. So the kit, when you buy this, it literally, where'd the box go? Yeah. So you get it in a box like this right here, and this is what you get. You get the direct diaphragm and the exact hex wrench that you need. Yeah, it's just a 6-point. So the exact 6-point that you need to take off the screws in your motherboard. So you'll be reusing the screws, and that's why nothing else is in here. However, as far as I know, every motherboard that you guys are buying out there is going to have a Foxconn socket, which is what this is. So this is a Foxconn socket. And the issue is, with these sockets, is if you can, it's going to be a little hard to get you guys up that close, but I think if you've seen a socket before, you'll know what I'm talking about. Each little corner here has a bit of plastic raised up, and that actually ends up being taller than the die itself. The 7700K or the 6700K, whatever you're putting this under, I believe this should work for the 8700K as well. It's the same chip basically, but even that die isn't very tall. So the plastic corners on your socket here won't let you direct die cool. So like I said, I don't know if you guys have seen the video. You can look it up. I should have the guy's link because thanks to him I knew about this before I put it on. He did not. So he used one of these. He mounted his block and everything, put it all back under there, and instantly the TJ Maxx when he booted in. So the corners on this keep the block from contacting the die, which is a problem. So that's what I will show you guys how to get around tonight. Like I said, I already started on this. So I've shaved off the bottom two corners just with an X-Acto knife. If you have a nice sharp razor blade of any kind, that's going to work really well here. But you do just kind of have to take your time and be slow about it because, one, you don't want your chip in there, and two, you got all these exposed pins. You don't want to mess with that stuff. So, crap, Matt, you can't use a monoblock. It isn't variable mounting solution. Directly, that only works with a variable mounting solution. Really? Is this true? I have a regular CPU block. That's actually, I mean, I'll be mounting the block again, so we'll see. I guess if that's true, then I'm gonna have to switch to a regular block here. I do have one. It's on my test bench, but that we can do. So like I said, I shaved down the front two corners already, so those are nice and smooth now. I tested it. I put the chip in there, and it's flat, as flat as the PCB is. So that'll be good to go. So now we have to use this nice little tool here that they give you to remove the rest of the socket so I can get at these other corners. Just thought I should warn you. So you're pretty sure about that, John? Mr. Warbuyer John here is saying that because this isn't a variable height mounting solution, it has these posts, although even like an EK block will have, you know, the screws that go to a certain height that go into your board. So I'm not 100% sure, he says. Where did you find this? Let's back it up with facts. Because that will definitely be an issue. So we got screws out. And now we do have a lot more room to work with. So here's your socket. That's really all it is. You do have to take out this screw as well. So we'll do that now. pretty simple procedure though. You're not taking it off the socket itself because that's damn near impossible. It's soldered to the board. But like I said, you do have to shave this down, so you just got to be really careful of everything on your board. You don't want to like razor into your board and cut traces. That would ruin it. You don't want to knock anything off. So this may be a little bit time consuming, but like I said, feel free. Company site, and also it's listed on Derbauer's D-lid solution. Oh, so, well, I mean, like I said, it's easy. It's only 4 more screws to mount this block compared to, well, and I'd have to take that off. I mean, we'll just find out the monoblock. We'll confirm what you found online there, Mr. John. So, as I said, we're just gonna slowly go at this with the X-Acto knife here, and you kind of just work it back and forth like a saw. The plastic isn't actually that strong, so there we got the little dimple, the end of the dimple even that holds the chip in. That's too tall as well. So we're just kind of slowly taking the end of the X-Acto knife here, and we're just gonna shave off bit by bit. Like I said, it's not very strong plastic, so it's not too difficult to cut. It's just you got to get at the right angle, and you don't want to be messing with anything else on your board, and you really don't want to touch the pins. So you just kind of, I don't know, you just got to find the right angle. The front 2 corners weren't too bad. These ones, like I said, you have to remove the rest of the socket, so that's why we're at this point. But John says we won't get any further than this, basically, at least tonight. I mean, like I said, I gotta put this all back together as it is, so it's gonna take me a day or two to get back to you on you guys whether or not this works. I just kind of want to show you this process because, as I said, I found on that one YouTube video that you actually can't do it without modding your socket like this. I've heard the EK Evo works best as well. Yeah, I mean, I could probably get an EK Evo here pretty quickly, but that's kind of sad. I gotta find, I bet they're in my motherboard box, but like I said, I got this monoblock. I've had the monoblock forever, but I guess it could be time for a change. I guess I don't really care. We'll see. The VRM cooling isn't that necessary on, this is actually a Z170 board, so it's kind of old. So you're saying, John, just because these posts are here will never get low enough is basically what you're saying? I'm pretty sure that's what he means. I mean, I guess now that I got the socket off, aside from the corners, those we're obviously trying to solve as it is. We can put the chip in here, and I mean, we could technically put that over it for now. And we can sort of test fit it. I don't know if we'll even be able to see it, but I'm going to attempt to look. I really can't tell. Maybe if I got my phone with a light. Oh, we lost the back of the backplate on the board. That's not so great. I suppose that's bound to happen. Let me get a flashlight here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll still finish modding the socket, but John's pretty certain that this isn't going to work no matter what with this monoblock. So if that's the case, we'll, like I said, just have to get a different block. It's not really a big deal. Where's my flashlight? Right there. So, yeah, I don't know. There's not much room to look. Yeah, I really can't tell, but I have a feeling John's probably right about this. I mean, I guess one way we can test once we get this all done is that we will put just some regular thermal paste on the die there and see if it actually does contact it, you know, and squish it at all. If it does, then we can try the liquid metal. Otherwise, I mean, Depends on how much distance. Also, Mon Me Daddy. You could get the sander out. So you just start sanding down these freaking posts. I mean, that's another potential solution. However, they have these nice little plastic covers on them, which prevents it from shorting on your board. But I don't know. That's a potential solution. Otherwise, the other solution I was going to say, depending on how much distance there is between it, we could just use enough regular thermal paste. We might have to skip the liquid metal. I have Cryonaut, and we could just skip the liquid metal and use regular thermal paste and hope that that creates enough of of a material in between the two that obviously we don't hit TJ Maxx instantly, because that would be really unfortunate if we did. I wouldn't really be too pleased with that outcome. Ooh. Oh no, my chip was in there and I just dropped it. That was genius. They also say when you delid monoblock, won't lay flat or true against IHS. Well, I've never had issues with just delidding. I've never done direct die cooling, so I'm not sure about the. So let's not step on the chip that I dropped. She's good. So I'm not sure about that, because delidding, like I use this copper IHS and I did get a little bit better temps with that. But besides that, even with the regular IHS, which I've also done, it always did just fine with a monoblock. So, because you're not changing the height when you just delid, but the monoblock, it does make sense that it might not work. Like I said, I'm pretty certain John's right if he's saying that you also need enough mounting pressure to push. That's true. That's actually very true, Mr. Paskowitz. If there isn't enough mounting pressure, then this won't work at all, because it just won't be contacting all the pins. So let's keep carefully shaving down these corners, and then we'll see whether or not we do need a block. What's Damon saying? I wish Facebook chat was bigger. I'll check your message in just a sec here. We're almost done with this corner. We just have one left. I bumped the board, but I don't think I cut any traces. So this is pretty much just as nerve-wracking as delidding, to be honest. So should have 3 corners done now. Seems just as smooth as the rest of the socket. So what did you say, Mr. Damon? If you try to bolt it down, it's going to flex the board. Oh. Wow, this is some crazy surgery. So, we got 3 out of 4 corners done. That feels pretty smooth. And then, after we get the 4th one done here, I think we'll probably be at our impasse, as John has suggested, as well as Mr. Paskowitz. The mounting pressure could be the key difference there. And Damon mentioned that it might not, the board might just want to flex and then push the CPU up into it, which would not be ideal. So I'm doing my best to just let the knife do most of the work. And it seems that we're almost done here, and I haven't seemed to bend any pins. So that's at least a positive thing. We can keep this going. we might not kill everything. So Mr. Damon, since you're saying the board's going to flex, are you suggesting that I don't mount the EK block at all? I believe that's what he's suggesting. Because that could very well come true. It's nearly there. We gotta get a better angle at it. What does Hank Barron say? It's not a nacho, dude. It's a real processor. I gotta split. Keep me updated. All right, Mr. Warboy or John, I will. Like I said, we're not getting this back together tonight, anyways, to actually find out. That would take a bit of work. So I will be letting you guys know. But Mr. Hank, since you're still watching, you might have to send me a Supremacy Evo tomorrow, or I'll just ask Miguel. Either or. We'll have to talk to our friends at EK though, because I do indeed need a block for this. This corner's getting close. This one's really awkward just because there's so much around this one. Those capacitors are so close. You can't really go from that side. But we'll just keep her going. Slow and steady wins the race, especially when you're playing with 1,151 pins. So some debris is falling to the socket, but we'll just blow it on out of there after this. So I suppose I should give you guys a nice little trivia question here so you could win some liquid metal yourself. Man, we're getting through a lot there. Okay. So, let me see here. What is Damon saying? So who thinks Matt's going to damage some pins tonight? Anyone ever use Heat Killer CPU block? I haven't used one myself on any builds, but I've seen them installed and everything, and they look great, and I heard they perform just pretty dandy too. Since the VRM's around, changing height is going... Oh, yep, that does make sense. Yeah, because he's saying that, you know, the rest of the block is resting on the VRMs here. Those will be the point of contact, so it's just going to lift everything up, which is not ideal for a motherboard. You don't really like it flexing in any way. It doesn't really improve performance, as far as I know. But I guess what do I know? I'm just cutting up my socket here, minding my own business. This is a good little chunk we're getting off. There we go. So yeah, as I was saying, this is pretty much just as nerve-wracking as delitting at this point. If it weren't for these dang sockets like this, it wouldn't be that bad. I mean, you just buy this nice little frame here. As long as you have just a regular CPU block, you know, you wouldn't have any issues. But no, these goofy Foxconn sockets have to be designed for not direct die cooling, which is kind of lame. As I said, I really don't know of a board, any 1151 boards that don't use a Foxconn socket. But you guys can let me know if you know of some that don't actually have this socket, because I figure every socket's going to be the same between 1151. So, just one thing to note if you do pick up this kit. It's not really a kit, it's just a frame and a tool. So that's pretty, still a little bit to go. Let me try it from this way. If I can get that edge here. So we've nearly got this corner done. As far as I can tell, they should be pretty good. Send the VRM channels down too. Oh yeah, just sand it all. We'll just put on the good old belt sander and just push real hard for a while. Okay, that corner actually got pretty far. That's okay though. Okay, well, I do believe I got all 4 corners. Let me double check the socket here. Oop. So everything appears to be in order. And we put the chip in, and then you gotta put the frame on. As I said, you keep the same screws, so there is one that's different. This guy goes in the front, but we do need the back plate on there. So, let's not let the chip fall out this time. This is fun. The hand acrobats. So this goes on just like that. Ooh. So I'm just going to hold it and hopefully be able to get these started. Doing it with my left hand. This is really fun. I really don't think these have to get like super tight, but yeah, are you guys yeah, I suppose there's still mounting pressure coming from the block. This isn't all of it, so yeah, we'll see here. We shall see. We may not be crushing any dies tonight. I mean, that's a good thing, unless that's what you guys were all here for. In that case, why you gotta hate my 7700K? Okay, so we got them all started. And let's keep tightening it, so that's about as hand tight as it gets. Right there. See, what is, that's like even, so if you have too big of a block, like this screw, is it supposed to like, no, it's all the way screwed in. Huh. You'd think they would have countersunk that, you know, more. Because I would hope that another block doesn't hit that, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. Because that could very well be the issue here. Like, how wide is it? Oh, I guess it might not. It's about that wide. But, so I'm pretty sure everyone was saying this actually isn't going to even contact the die. So, like I said, there's really no way to be able to tell. But, yeah, that I suppose is as far as we get tonight. Should treat her nice, Matt. It's not that we hate the chip, it's that the chip wants to die. Is that really true? Yeah, let me read Facebook chat here. It's so little. I hate it. No way, you get a BIOA screen again? I think the socket on the Maximus 9 Apex is different since it is meant for extreme overclocking. Not sure who makes it or if it's just a different Foxconn model. Oh, that could be true. EK actually makes direct die mounting hardware for their blocks, the EK Naked Ivy mount kit. Yeah, so I suppose I need just an Evo block with that. Even though this isn't an Ivy bridge, it would, it's still, that was an 11.5X socket. So I believe that would still work. But alas, this is probably where it's going to end tonight. Now, we do have a trivia question for, like I said, we get some Thermal Grizzly Conductonaut. Or do you guys want me to, let's just test this. I was going to at least test this. So we'll grab some EK Ectotherm. They don't even use this stuff anymore. They actually be Thermal Grizzly Cryonaut too. So we'll just go like this. This is going to be way too much. Wow, that's a lot of thermal paste. So that's going to make a good old mess right there. But this will tell us how much pressure we're actually getting. So, I mean, if I actually had like carbon paper, like the pressure paper and stuff, that'd be ideal. But this is what we get to work with, folks. So, let's make sure. So I'm just pushing straight down. I'm not going to screw it in. I'm just going to push straight down. And let's see. Wow. Yeah. So you guys are definitely, look at that. The block, it didn't even touch it at all. And look at how much thermal paste is on there. There's a lot. There's like a lot of thermal paste. So, yeah. It definitely does not contact the die. I can straight up. This is right where the block sits. Right there. Zero contact. None. So, yeah, you guys are definitely right about that. We'll just leave that there now. We have confirmed it twice over now that this solution does not work with monoblocks because they are fixed height. So, I do believe Damon would have said we need to start shaving the screw. Yeah. Oh, I wonder if the screw is even holding it up at that point. I think it might. I'm not certain. I'll have to grab the block, my bits power block. That's just a CPU block, and I can test fit that. I'm probably just gonna need another block, anyways. It'd be cool to measure the depth of the diluted chip on a surface plate versus the stock chip. Yeah. I wonder how you do that math without being in Intel. Actually, I think you could do it. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna sit here and work that one out right now. But so the trivia question. Let's see. I had a few ready, but I don't know which one I want to give you guys. Let's see. It's just the height of the IHS. Yeah, but there's a gap in the IHS to account for the height of the die. So there is a difference between, because like you can measure the height of the IHS, which would be from the PCB to the IHS, but that's not from the die to the top of the IHS. That's a tough one. I mean, technically it should be this thickness of the IHS. So like I don't have my caliper out here right now, but so this is indented. So I suppose this, in theory, this thickness right here would be it, but not from the outer edge. So let's see. What was I going to go on to say? Depth gauge would be easy way. I need to get one. Well, duh. Well, duh, says Mr. Lightning Man. Well, thank you, sir. So, like as I was saying, we're gonna do a nice little trivia question here. Let me see this. What did Damon say? You don't have to use it, but it makes it pretty foolproof. Oh, okay. Well, then we'll have to get that, and I can show everyone installing that. That's no problem. So, let's see. Is there any other? Let's see. Is that Bob or Rod? That's Mr. Rod, as far as I know. Isn't it? Is it? It's just BS mods? Oh, maybe. I guess I never asked. This is Rod. Oh, okay. I was like, I never actually did ask that. I know Rod's on Discord with us, but Bob's on Facebook all the time, so I guess it'd be tough to tell. But, oh yeah, Mr. Spartan Mods, you went to PDX Land, didn't you? No. Yeah, you did. No, this is Patrick. Shut up, showed up. Only made it to B. It's almost always me. Bob can be tricky. Oh Lord. So we got to be on our toes when we're talking to Mr. BS Mods. What did Mr. Hank say? So this is a failure? No, technically not. It's a failure because I'm using this block. Like I said, tomorrow you should kind of just send me a nice little EK Supremacy Evo block that we probably have in stock. Because this is a fixed height cooler or block. So you see it's got posts, all these posts. You can't use these coolers or these blocks with the direct die guard. If you missed it, Hank, I'll do it again here. So as you see, I have a ton of thermal. It's covering the die, the thermal paste. It's like gooped on there, and watch this. So this is where the monoblock would go. We'll even push down on it a little bit here so we can make sure. But there you go. There you have it. Zero contact whatsoever. Ah, beautiful. So, yeah. This, we'll have to put, I'll tell Garrett to put that on the product page. It doesn't work with any monoblocks or fixed height blocks. You need to use a CPU block only. So that's the hiccup we ended in tonight. But that just means you can send me more stuff, and I have more stuff to stream about. We'll go on and on about how we're going to get the Naked Ivy kit, and then we're going to just mount that on there, and then we'll mount a nice new block on there, and it'll be good stuff. What else we got here? Mr. Nathan needs more, does it say TP? Maybe. Holy shit, Cheer 1 taking back that top spot. Did somebody actually cheer? Why wouldn't that come up in my chat? Maybe, I don't know. If someone actually did, thanks, I guess. I don't even know how that all works. I'll have to go through all the Twitch gimmicks and whatnot. But, enough gimmicks. Let's give away one of these Thermal Grizzly Conductonaut. I think it's a 1 gram tube. So, whoever can tell me the price of this Thermal Grizzly Conductonaut, like I said, it's a 1 gram tube, first, shall be the winner. So go for it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see you guys get on your search skills. The price as far as on PPCs, obviously. I think that goes without saying. 15. It's not 15. Mr. Lanky Rob. No, it's not $39.95. This Mr. Andrew. The 1 gram, the smallest tube. Not that tube. I said the small one. Just this one. This is little. Because this is all I get. 12.9. Jesus, this guy's just going through it all. Mr. Andrew got it. Ryan, $10.95, just up there. Mr. Andrew, I'll have to get you your nice little Thermal Grizzly here. Yeet, he says. So yes, you can have your I think it's 1 gram. Or is it 1.5? I don't know. But it's the smallest one they got. And that's what I got. So that's what you get. Enjoy. For those of you, like I said, if you didn't see in the beginning here, we ended up getting the direct eye guard on here. Before we did that, we used an X-Acto knife here to shave down the corners of your socket, because these are indeed taller than your CPU die. So you have to shave those down. However, there is another thing that you have to have in this situation that I did not know, and that's a regular, just a CPU block. You cannot have a fixed height block. This is a very fixed height block. You got everything here is all the same height, so it would be impossible to use this block. It makes zero contact whatsoever with the CPU die. So you can't use a mono block of any sort as far as I know. So you need a regular CPU block, so we'll be getting that, and then we'll go ahead and we'll mount this. I'll have to clean that off, but yeah, it's good to go. As far as mounting, I just don't have a block available right now. Well, I missed a question due to construction noise in the next room. No. That's all good though. Like I said, we'll be streaming this again. We can we'll have another giveaway with the next stream. Mr. Hank, what did you say? I gotta walk over there again because I can't read that tiny chat from here. Copper shims maybe? The whole video and no one will want to buy anything. What? What do you mean? A lot of people don't use monoblocks, Hank. Don't you know this? You know how many monoblocks we sell. A lot of people don't use these. This was an impractical cooling solution as it was from the beginning. So, we'll have to switch it up. But, copper shims, maybe. I don't, but that, once you do a copper shim, that's just like putting an IHS on it. Like, I mean, this is copper, and it's a shim. So there's that. I mean, I could just put together my CPU again, relit it, and it'd be good to go. But I'll probably just leave it apart just because, like I said, we can get this remedied pretty quickly. Mono wouldn't work on my board anyway. Shota uses a mono block. What else we got? Hank, yell at Matt to get glasses so he can read it. Yeah. Oh yeah, I use a monoblock. Damn it. Well, you guys in chat that have monoblocks, go away for a little bit while we talk. Like, I mean, I don't know. These things are definitely, I agree with myself, said Shota. These are already a pretty risky mod as it is. Like I said, there was that one guy on YouTube that I saw buy one. He's the only other guy that I could find that even used one of these. So thankfully he made a video and showed that you do need to use, or you do need to shave the socket. So there's that. But like even when we bought these, we knew nothing about them really. Yell at Hank to buy Matt a bigger screen. That's true. I could just use a bigger screen. Glasses and a bigger. Okay, you guys want too much now. He probably can't swing that. What did Damon say? 555. If I buy 1K of them. Oh, look at that. Dang. Facebook is really slow. I'm sorry, guys, who are trying to get on the giveaway there. That's like. Facebook people just started answering the giveaway. Twitch and YouTube people. Actually, I don't know if anyone's. At least no one's talking on YouTube. People are talking on Twitch, though. I do appreciate everyone who did stop by and answer all these goofy questions. I hope I answered some of yours. As I said, we wouldn't be getting to the end of this tonight no matter what. I mean, the loop's in pieces. I had to take everything out just to get this far. So it's going to be another day or two, maybe a few, before we get this back up and running. But I'll do my best to get it done as soon as possible, because obviously I'm out of a computer at the current time. So, I mean, I can pull another block off. We could try that, and I'll let you guys know from there. And we will definitely have another stream on this in the near future. And I guess I'll be seeing you guys then. We do have more content coming up, such as I should have a tubing clarity blog done pretty soon here. I wonder if Matt knows that Nathan G on Facebook is me. Well, damn it, now I do. You goof. What the heck? What does Hank Barron say? Agree. Damn it. If you add the Matt emote from Discord on the Twitch channel, I'll subscribe. Apparently you guys don't like money because you're not doing it. You've been saying it for a while. We don't even have a subscribe button, man. What do you want me to tell you? There is no subscribe button. Suppose I could face the camera here. Ooh, maybe not. There we go. Okay. So, I will be back as soon as possible with more streams. Clearly this rig's down. I got my laptop though. So we'll be alright with that. Yeah, goof. Yeah, joke's on me. What do you mean? You do have a subscribe button. Really? Like a legit subscribe button? We're just affiliates. We're not partnered. No. Spartan Mod says no. See? There isn't. Yeah. Thanks, Mr. I believe you're Mr. Jason there on Facebook, but I won't give up your identity. He's right. I'm gonna believe him. Shota is a cheater. So we will come back to this. Pinged you in Discord. Well, thank you. I will check that in just a minute. What did Mr. Damon say now? The IHS is a shin. It is though. I mean, look at it. And actually, I must have just dropped it. Look at this. I dented mine. Weird. Sand that down, I guess. Pound it back in. I don't even know how that happened. That wasn't there just a minute ago. Oh well. So, if you guys don't have any more questions, we'll be wrapping it up tonight. The man behind the mask. Yeah, I did give away his identity. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this tonight. It was kind of just a wing it type deal. These are like $40, so I guess I understand that not everybody would want to pick up this little kit. I, however, will make sure that we find out whether or not it really is a dud or not, because I know you guys would like to know. I do believe it's a great solution for direct die cooling. Like I said, I had this copper IHS delated with liquid metal, and my average CPU temperature, like averaged out, was like 58 degrees on water with 20 degree ambient. So that's pretty hot for 5 gigahertz. It's not. It's like running 1.35 volts. It's not even that high of a voltage for a 7700K, and it's getting damn near up in the 60s. So I would like to see those temps go down. None of those are awful. I would just like to see better temps, and I believe this would be the solution, provided I had the right equipment. The sultry voice. What is the sultry voice? Why? No. Mr. Nathan, what are you saying now? You're still showing it. Not gonna lie, my money is on Matt killed it. I have better temps without a direct diaphragm. How do you know? Did you? Oh yeah, I think you did get a direct diaphragm. Huh. I'll have to talk with you more about why that happened with you. But besides that, obviously I'm tired. Clearly. So I'm going to wrap this up, and you guys can just shoot me any other questions you might have about this product. I have linked it below, like I said, and there's Thermal Grizzly link below. You guys can check all that out. And I'll do my best to answer your questions about this. Hopefully I've still interested some of you in this. But until next time, I hope you all have a great night, and I will see you then.